Welcome back. You're tuned into Bazaar Morning Call here on CNBC-TV18. Well, we listed on the stocks. Let's get some fundamental analysis going. Deven Choksey, Managing Director at DRChoksey Finserv, joins us on the show. Hi, Deven. Good morning and good to see you, Ben. Well, BHAL, the stock has seen a big run. The numbers for the past quarter maybe a little bit mixed, more on the disappointing end. But the commentary is very positive. What do? Focus on the numbers or focus on the commentary and say this one's going to turn around? It's already rallied a fair bit.
Nigel, good morning. Well, I think that is the case with most of the PSU stocks, where I think the past numbers haven't been very convincing, and I think the future commentary and the promises are quite many. I would like to buy the later. I think in the sense the new commentary that is coming up from these companies. Couple of reasons. One, because of the government's capex program on the infrastructure, most of these companies, which are capital goods segment players, likes of BHEL, which you mentioned, or VEML for that matter, or even in the defense segment like HAL and all. I think these all the companies have relatively, I think, a stronger order books to execute. And that's where probably one can argue that going forward, the business conditions becoming very conducive for them. The major focus now here onwards would be on execution. Fortunately, the government is demanding, and that's where maybe I think some of these PSUs up till now who have been struggling for the execution front, despite of having promises, I think now probably all the chances are that they would be in a better position to execute as well. Given that prospect, I would think that one should remain positive about the prospects going forward. Whether one would like to chase the momentum at this point of time or wait, I think that's $1 million question. I don't think that we have an answer to that. Currently, the momentum continues in the market, and I guess I think one who has already invested will stay invested. One wants to add new, maybe I think would wait for the correction in the price and then add further into the portfolio.
Okay. I wanted your thoughts, Deven, on VATech Vabag, because this whole water treatment space is doing so well. I mean, the stock is already up about 65% in the last 6 months, and the company is now guiding for a 15 to 20% compounded growth over the next 5 years. Is this a stock that still merits a buy at this price?
Yeah, Sonia, good morning. Well, I guess I think at 21-22 price earning ratio, it's not so expensive as on one side. And at the same time, I think as you rightly mentioned, I think the compounding story continues with around 18 to 20% kind of a growth rate being targeted. This business being largely extremely project driven, wherein I think your timeline to deliver is certainly dependent on, I think, the kind of complexity of the projects. So if those who are looking at this company from the quarterly performance point of view, they may probably remain disappointed in between. But those who are looking at the long-term bet in this kind of a business, which I believe they should, then probably I think next 3 to 5 years looks extremely promising for this company. I guess I think, as rightly said, the water treatment business, be it effluent, the industrial water, I think the effluent treatment plants, or even the potable waters, or even for that matter, I think the larger projects like ports and all, where I think the requirement of the water is for industrial use. I believe that I think this company is systematically well positioned on this particular front and should seeing better times going forward.
Deven, do you track a company called RateGain? Reported numbers yesterday in the last hour. Numbers are very strong. Profits have doubled for the full year. And by the way, we'll have the management join us and we'll ask them for projections going forward. But, the sort of longer run guidance is pretty solid. 40-50% kind of growth is what they've on earlier occasion told us. Any thoughts if you track it?
Yeah, Prashant, good morning. Haven't seen the numbers and not seen this company of late, so I think would probably position myself a little later on the commentary on this.